Good evening, Cerebrits, and welcome to the Maggot Has Nothing Better to Do show. As you may recall, depending on whether you're prone to suppressing traumatic memories, Uncle Evil has become the official Republican candidate for Galactic Senate Prime Minister, often considered the most powerful man in the galaxy, with the obvious exception of myself. As the election becomes more and more imminent, there's been a sharp increase in both political mudslinging and suicides. People have been flinging themselves from 30th-story windows in what authorities are describing as death by foresight. Strange political groups have been seeping from the woodwork like larvae, either to counter Uncle Evil's election or to take advantage of it. Traditionally non-political groups have suddenly taken sides, and in some cases open war has erupted. The White Talon Mercenary Company has openly stated that it will bomb anyone who votes for Uncle Evil in the polls or in the election itself, while their rivals the Black Talon have openly stated that the White Talon are all douchebags.
You'd think they'd say something pointed and eloquent, like they are embodying the very destruction of democracy which they believe Uncle Evil represents. But no, they actually used the word douchebags.
The Sanctus Galactica Church, in a massive turnaround, has openly stated that it will not, in fact, condemn anyone who votes for a Democratic candidate.
While it is unethical and horribly illegal for the church to instruct its members on how to vote, they normally say, go ahead and vote your conscience. Just make sure your conscience is God-fearing Republican or you'll burn in fucking hell.
Meanwhile, the traditionally democratic groups, such as the Affalesian Alliance for Public Progress, are being undermined on their own turf by the more extremist groups who have taken this opportunity to garner support. For example, the Plant a Tree or We'll Kill Your Family Foundation has been pressing hard in its support of Graham Forsnips, whereas the Support Peace Because the Zerg are an invention of the sensationalist right-wing media association has thrown its weight behind Yamdra Kraka. Meanwhile, fringe interest groups that don't typically belong to either party, such as the National Institute of Raping Other People's Furniture in front of them, have come out in support of Uncle Evil.
I'm a strong supporter of anything that makes people feel icky inside.
The polls remain steady, with Uncle Evil retaining a narrow lead on Yamdra Kraka, who would be winning hardcore if a third of the Democratic votes weren't going to Graham Forsnips.
Here's what I don't get. The world is full of stupid, boring people. Voting for Uncle Evil is hilarious and benefits terrible people like you and me at their expense. And technically they're allowed to vote for any Republican they want. Why the hell are they still voting for Uncle Evil?
It's simple. Most people don't want real information because it means they might have to take responsibility for their decisions. They just punch the hole next to their political party. After all, Brett Rowland sounds like such a nice guy, and the commercials paint him as supporting smaller government and an emphasis on the family. They'd actually have to do their research to discover that Brett Rowland is an alias for Uncle Evil, and that his view of supporting the family is to pay, quote, fair compensation when he uses eminent domain to take their daughters.
It's true. Your daughters will be seized and put to work in order to promote local business growth and increase tax revenues. And your sons, if they're pretty enough.
In order to prevent themselves from being politically violated, people would actually have to use discretion in believing what they're told, even if it's more appealing than the truth.
Screwed!
I'm gonna love being this galaxy's new god emperor. Open your mouth, due process, because Uncle Evil's got a big surprise for you.
Let's take some more calls. Looks like Senator Bell Schwartz wants a shot at us again.
All right, Evil, you've won. We're willing to negotiate with you.
Okay, I'll give you $100, but I get you for a whole hour.
No, you filthy avatar of satanic fantasy. I mean, we're willing to negotiate for your withdrawal from the election.
Oh, you're funny. Just what could you offer me that's worth more than pillaging your entire sector?
We're willing to compensate you handsomely. Not to mention, we'll clear your record of all the depraved and disturbingly creative sex crimes you've committed.
You think I'm gonna care once I'm Prime Minister? The law cannot touch me. I am the law!
Very well. Admiral Waffnan, I order you to place Uncle Evil under arrest.
Senator, much as I respect your views on this matter, my instructions were quite explicit. Uncle Evil is not wanted for any outstanding crimes. He was given immunity during the recent trial of Zargos Vek because for some reason they thought it was more important to arrest someone who violates copyrights as opposed to orifices.
Hey, Zargos Vek was single-handedly costing the entertainment industry 5 billion credits a day.
Be that as it may, there is no legal cause for me to arrest Uncle Evil. If you want to stop him, I suggest you alter your election practices, and quickly.
We've tried, but every time we introduce a bill changing to another voting system, someone tacks on a rider appropriating 50 trillion credits towards converting the primary continent of a phallus into a gigantic sculpture of a penis that is visible from space.
That's what happens when a Gaz pork worshipper gets a law degree.
We are aware that a phallus means a penis in the hick trade language. But come on, it's getting old. Our planet is not a giant penis, and some of us would prefer it to remain that way.
Isn't that the same senator who proposed a bill to change the name of a phallus's primary moon to, Afagina?
Yes, that's what we get for letting an Ubeclesian become a senator.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Uncle Evil, I beg you to withdraw from the race. For once in your putrid life, think of others.
I am thinking of others. I'm thinking of others becoming my slaves, and I like it.
Much as I am enjoying watching the esteemed senator squirm, I must interrupt with some rather pointed news. It seems that in a rare moment of clarity, Graham Forsnips has officially withdrawn from the election, urging his supporters to vote for Yamdra Kraka, specifically so that Uncle Evil will not win. This has given Yamdra Kraka a 10% lead in the polls, one of the largest in Senate history.
Time to pull out the big guns.
Is this something figurative, or do I need to raise my shields?
Oh, you'll see. To be continued? Or something?